Yesterday, Fezzi, you and Dave were talking about what could be done to make funerals better. I forgot how that came up.
Oh, yeah, what could be done to make funerals more fun? Where it's like, so that it's not such a mournful, sad experience.
And what is wrong when you lose someone in your family to have that as a mournful, sad experience? If that is not the time to be mournful and sad, then I don't know when it would fucking be. And people are like, I don't know. And I do know people, I swear to God, who lost their mom, their fucking therapist puts them on drugs, and they're going, I don't know, I'm still sad. And you have to say, your
No
fucking
shit.
mom died to the people.
Uh-huh.
Because it's not fun at the funeral. What is wrong by going, I feel like the world has split in two, someone I love is gone?
Well, we're fed that everyone has to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
And being sad is wrong, which is
I
creepy.
do not understand why you want to skip some of the fucking emotions. It doesn't make sense to me. Dave, you had a couple ideas for these fun funerals that you and Fezzi were kicking around.
Well, yeah, I think it's very depressing to...
Yes, go to a funeral, it's unbelievably depressing.
But, Mr. B, it's too sad. And why do we have to have the coffin set out in front of us with the corpse? It's
to look at that person's body and say they are gone now.
But that's not how we remember them. That doesn't, they're just lifeless, and they've taken all the spirit out of them. So that...
Yes, their life has left that person. And I'm not saying it is good, bad, whatever. But when you go to a funeral and you're seeing a fun movie that looks like a bio thing... you're acting like it's okay now. You want to feel like it's okay that that person is gone. And the reality of it is you ain't going to see him again, brother. You are not going to see them again. Let me go to John. John from Kansas City. How are you, buddy? John, go ahead. You're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, boys.
Yeah.
I'm 61 years old, and I remember the day Kennedy got killed, for example, and what an outcry and how the entire country was shocked almost to a standstill. Now, the same thing today could not happen if, for example, something happened to our current president. In fact, today, I think probably people just go, oh, well.
I don't, we always go back to that. That's when we lost our innocence or whatever had to do with Kennedy. I mean, to go back to this thing that Dave brought up about not wanting to see things, that's why we were protected from seeing the coffins come back from Iraq. We were protected. I'm throwing up the sheepy air quotes there, because we don't want to see death as the reality. We want to believe that everything is a fun movie, and let's celebrate the life rather than looking at the fragileness that life is.
But it's so sad.
Yes.
I don't want to be.
I'll tell John. I can barely hear you. Yes, it is sad, and I know you don't want to be sad. And I'm not saying be sad all the time. But when your parents die, I don't think you have to go out of your way to go, what's good about this? What could really turn this into a fun day? I know, we all go to Chili's. We all have a great day at Chili's.
My dad does happen to like Chili's, though. I think in a weird way, that's remembering them the way they were. It's giving them...
I believe you will remember them in all different aspects of their life. And one of the ways that you have to remember them on some level is gone. And you have to fucking say to yourself, all these great experiences are gone. I'm going to work through it and get back to saying that. But you just can't jump from it happened into healed. That's what I'm saying. You're not letting the human emotions take place. You're putting up a fake front, and then you're throwing pills into your body so that you no longer fucking deal with it. And people are like, well, you take a pill and you'll be, I was able to deal with it. You could take enough fucking pills, this goddamn room could be on fire and we could just still keep sitting here. Yeah. That doesn't make it a fucking good thing. At some point, you might want to think, the room's on fire, I want to get out.
See, the funeral is gonna be sad. There's no way around that. But it seems like the ceremony of the funeral...
Disagree. I have been to fun funerals. I have seen them. All right, go back to the ceremony of the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, tell me what you're talking about.
Well, I'm saying where there's, like, sad hymns being played. It's very somber. Everyone's dressed in black.
Yeah.
It's a fucking ritual that has lasted for a long time. I'm not saying you have to do it, but you can understand. Black means the color has been taken out of my life. Those hymns that you hear are ancient fucking songs that were passed down generation to fucking generation. It used to mean something. I mean, you would take those old Italian women and they would wear black for the rest of their lives when their man died. And because that was their fucking commitment. When he was gone, doesn't fucking matter. Color is gone.
And that's not a way to live. My landlady is one of those people. She was Greek, not Italian, but she wears black and she's a miserable person. Why do we have to wear black?
And I'm saying I see a lot of people wearing color that are fucking miserable people that are on fucking dope and acting like everything is okay. At least she's living in her fucking reality. The one that she fucking picked. You guys want a happy fucking funeral like nothing ever happened. And it's not always for the fucking deceased. It's for what used to be called mourners is now people going, I don't believe I got to go over to this funeral. Earl, I know your people, right?
Yeah.
When there's a funeral, there's always a large black woman who throws herself on top of the casket and holds on tight and yells, Jesus, take me with him. Jesus, take me with him.
That's every single time. My grandfather's funeral, my aunt went absolutely crazy. She took care of him the last 15 years of his life. I would have thought she was the one person that could finally have some closure to it. She lost her mind. Even though the funeral I hate to say a great funeral. It was a celebration of a life. It wasn't morose. Were people crying? Were people sad? Yeah, but it became a celebration because we celebrated the life. It was closure.
Afterwards, don't you guys always have that big dancing thing on the way back? The Dixieland, you suddenly go Dixieland on everybody?
No, that's how I want my funeral to be. I want a New Orleans funeral. Yeah. Because to me, that's how you go out. It's, start sad.
By New Orleans funeral, now they think you meet Katrina. Here's Jim. Jim, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to say, an Irish wake. That's about as fun as you get.
Well, the early funerals I remember, there was all the things that you're talking about. Was the rosary, the sadness went on, everyone in black. But at some point, one of my uncles would look at me and say, "Try and get my sister's husband outside. I'm going to kill that bastard. I'm going to kill him." And that would, when there would always be a fight, and that was a great release. And it was something that I could fucking depend upon, that I cannot wait to get to the funeral and find out what grudges will be settled that day. It was a way of blowing things off.
And with the Irish thing, I always thought it was more of an age thing. Like if the person was maybe 60 or under, it was a lot more serious. And, it was too serious. Whereas when the person's about 65, 70 and over, then it's more fun.
I don't know why you need fun. I don't know where the enjoyment factor needs to come in.
Because it's
again, I don't know. Let's say, you were saying, whatever life is, blah, blah, blah. You go home, you lose Casey. You want to make that a great fucking day? You want us all you want us doing jokes about it and showing up and having a good time?
I would say if I came home and Jesus, God forbid, she was dead,
right.
Like an overdose or something happened.
All right, she takes too many pills.
Right.
All right.
Not,
That's a worry?
No.
Right now?
That's in the realm of reality.
You want me to have Deb run over there right now as we sit?
I don't.
Yeah.
And I come home, she's blue, she's gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to be extremely upset, disturbed, and so sad I might even, do something badly. But when I plan the funeral, see, I think Casey, rather than people, wearing black, might like, people dressed up in costumes or like have people dressed up as animals.
Well, animals.
Because
All right, so she's going to have an animal funeral.
That's what I'm going to ask for because she loves cats and dogs.
You know what? This is you being shocking.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
So you want us all to dress in animal fucking things?
For real? Why should you dress in black and not have a costume party? Fuck the animals. How about a regular costume party?
I'm coming dressed as a fucking bear. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come as Dancing Bear. And I am now hoping she dies so I can embarrass you in front of your family.
Don't hope she dies.
And when
She's my
Casey's
wife.
dad says to me, "What are you doing in a bear costume?" I'll say Dave sent me, and I'll fucking hand him the CD. And I go, he said it was going to be a funny animal costume party.
But that's, I think...
And I'm not. And I'm going to be a pallbearer.
I think that's... To me, that's more befitting of
Good.
her personality. No, but for seriously,
Please let her overdose.
Casey's not the person who... Don't say that!
Well, you brought it up.
She's not the type of person who would want people walking around, heads down, looking at their shoes.
I hope it's not warm out when she goes.
You know what? If God forbid anything happens to Casey, I will say, Jonathan, you put it together so this thing doesn't turn into a mockery march of the fucking animals.
No.
Not going to do it.
I'm her husband. I'll take care of that. And I would want the same thing at mine.
First of all, you should be flopping on the fucking floor. You should be inconsolable if your chick dies. Not like, how can I turn this into a great social event?
I know, but I think that would be the time where I would really step up as a man, and I would want that responsibility.
To be the fucking party planner. That's a man to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be in charge of getting the food. We'll have subs.
Yeah. All right, let's just say my chick died, and you asked me, like, what kind of food we're going to be having, and I'll play the part as if this actually happened.
Okay. Mr. B, what kind of food will be...
How the fuck do I know? My chick is gone! I've got nothing to fucking live for! Give me that bottle! Give me that bottle! Ow. And that's how you act.
All right.
Not how can I turn this into a lovely day. You gotta lose your shit. Lose your fucking shit.
I know, but you didn't have to grab my neck. Like
I'm just playing a part.
It hurt.
I don't want this to turn into another goddamn thing for you to go, let's turn this into a bit for the radio.
I'm not.
And I was just sitting around talking about what the fuck is wrong with people. And you come in today and you show me everything that's wrong with people.
You may want to go the Theodore Roosevelt route when his first wife died. What he did, his wife and his mother both died on the same day, Valentine's Day.
Oh, thank you, Lord. What a great fucking Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So he has one daughter at this point, gives her up, sends her off to live with an aunt, and he just takes off for the Badlands. He leaves New York City and just goes to South Dakota to become a rancher and a marshal and whatever else for a few years.
I love it.
I mean,
and that's what a man does. He has to go to the ends of the earth to deal with his pain, not put together animal costumes and subs. You want to fucking be fucking consolable and go like, you know what I've decided to do? I'm going to get the damn whale. And you go out on a fucking boat for years.
He signed his diary entry that day with a black X and just wrote, "The light has gone out of my life." And then, once he got back from the Badlands, after a few years, never spoke of the first wife again. No one was allowed to bring her up, and he never mentioned her name again. It was
because
just done.
The pain was too big, Fez.
Yeah.
If he heard her name again, it would fucking kill him.
Yeah.
I do not understand why people refuse to embrace that kind of pain. Where somebody could say to you, it's been 5 months. Why are you still in pain? Because it fucking hurts. That's why. I'm not out to hurt anybody else. I'm fucking expressing pain. That's what I'm doing. Every day. I'm fucking expressing pain because it feels like my fucking chest is open and my heart spilled out. How can you not understand that? How do you not fucking get that? Here's Joe. Joe, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Well, I'm a funeral director, and I have a couple of funeral homes I own. A lot of the points you guys are making are right, but Dave, when someone dies, there's closure. They want to see their loved one in a casket in the funeral home for closure. It kind of depends on what they die from and how old they are. That's true. But, you know, if mom dies in a hospital of cancer, it's not going to be a party or, you know, it's going to be like mom is finally at rest because she had a long disease and, you know, she looks good in the casket. We like the way everything is set up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I just don't necessarily agree with it.
You say about, like, if your, like, wife dies, oh, I'm going to have an animal party, whatever. You could plan any funeral you want. Anybody could plan a funeral. You could do whatever you want, but you got to do it the right and tasteful way. She has parents, and you don't want, like you know, Mr. B says, you don't want people showing up in costumes.
Making a fucking mockery out of this. You're in fucking pain right now. You want some respect.
There are customs out there for people. I'm not going to say what kind of people they are, but they have a party. They have food. They have beer. They celebrate outside the funeral home, and the loved one is inside. There are people that do that. They do make it a party, and they do make it a celebration of the person's life. Yes, but not with costumes and the way you want to do it.
Right.
You could do it other ways, and with the music. When someone comes up to my funeral home and they say they can do whatever they want, hey, we want to bring these CDs. He liked 50 Cent. We put them on for the people. You know, we're not just going to play piano music, like, you know, dead music is what people call it. We do what the families want us to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
It's not like you're going to, like we said with the costumes and like that. You got to think of it realistically. It depends what the age of the person dies from. If they die at an older age, it's not going to be like a hysterical party, you know, blah, blah, blah. But if someone dies younger, like a gunshot or suicide, then of course it's going to be more crying and more of this and more of that. And your head's not going to be there like with the food and you want to do it this way. You're going to be like, you know, I should let my parents take care of this right now because, you know, their mind is more set than I am. Do you understand?
Thank you very much, Joe.
You're welcome.
Talk to you later, brother. Here's April. April, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hello?
Yeah.
I lost my oldest child, and I can't imagine what Dave is saying about celebrating that at her funeral.
Mm-hmm.
It's the saddest day of your life. It's been 4 years, and I get tired of the people who say I should be over it. And
right.
Yeah, I went on the drugs and the antidepressants, but you know what? You can't feel the pain, so you go off of them. How can you celebrate the death of a child?
See, here's the two things for a man, anyway. You never are supposed to bury your chick, and you're never supposed to bury your kids.
Right.
And when that happens, if you lose a child and you just cannot deal, what is wrong with mourning that child for the rest of your life? What is wrong with wearing black for the rest of your life?
Exactly. If Dave would have showed up at her funeral in a costume or
animal costume.
An animal costume?
Yeah, he'd come in there dressed as a kangaroo.
I would have myself.
Good.
It is a sad day, and it'll be sad for the rest of my life. And my brother killing himself at 22, that's a sad day. I mean, you can't say, okay, anyone under 30, we're going to mourn, and anyone over 30 had a great life.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. That's it.
I don't care if I'm 90. I go first, I'm heading to the Badlands. I am not kidding you for a second. And if Dave, you show up dressed as a koala bear, your ass is going down.
I agree.
If that wasn't your wishes, I wouldn't do it. I was talking about me and my wife.
I'm not coming to the funeral.
I'm being very singular here, okay? So let's not say that everyone should have an animal party. That's not what I said.
You said Casey's funeral should be...
I would think that's what she would want. And I'm not saying everyone... I'm saying...
So she hasn't even told you this. You're assuming.
All right.
Correct.
April, I'm sorry. You're still in a period of mourning, and then you have to hear a show like this.
Well, I love your show, and I love you guys. I think Dave needs to be slapped around occasionally.
We'll do it.
Boys, I'm gone.
Bye-bye. Well, that was just a call for a woman to lose a child and then have to hear, why not have like some kind of everyone dress up as animals? Casey says, if Dave died, I would stuff him like a puppet and give him the hosp. I'd love to see hosp get more popular. It just doesn't seem to matter. And I found out why he's not bringing his food back. Remember the great food?
Uh-huh.
Somebody gave him a hard time that day.
Who was that?
Fez Marie Watley. And I forgot all about that.
What did I do?
What was the problem there that he went after hosp? Something happened.
I remember. He took a shot at me, and I said, I'm not eating your stinking sandwiches.
Right.
That's what it was.
And he brought the best sandwiches down from the Bronx. What street was that?
Arthur Avenue.
God damn, those sandwiches were great. I'm still thinking about them a full year later. But Watley having to call someone a stinking sandwich has kept it from happening again.
No one ever accepts an apology.
You don't realize how much you hurt people. Speaking of which, have you gotten back to our other friend who you hurt not too long ago by saying you used to hate?
Winnie Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't. I thought I explained myself as best I possibly could. I asked for her forgiveness. She said it's in her court, so I don't know what to do beyond that. People just don't accept apologies.
How about just do something nice?
It's too late.
I could take it back and say I've always liked her, but I don't think she would buy it at this point.
Why don't you put on an animal costume?